Welcome to the Costume Quest Beginner Any Percent Speedrun Guide. Today we're going to be going over everything you need to know on how to play this game fast. Before we get into the actual run though, I got a couple things to go over. Before we start, if you don't play on a controller, it is a much better experience. Keyboard and mouse, the controls are a bit odd. Before you actually do a run, you might want to practice some things, and I'm going to reference some of the practice saves that we have. So before we get into the run, I'm going to actually show you how to set up the practice saves, because there's a tutorial in the second game, but it's a bit different on how to actually access your save files for this game, and you might as well include it in the tutorial here. So that's what we're going to do. First, going to show continue file. We've got 3 save files here. This is 1, 2, and 3. In the actual save files though, it's going to be 0, 1, and 2. So it won't be consistent with the numbers here. All of the save files I have are for the first slot. So if you want to save your save file that's already in the 1 slot, like that's your 100% file or whatever, you can just copy that and put that in a folder. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But just know that all the save files I have are going to replace this slot right here. Okay, now that we're on the desktop, I'm going to show you how to access these save files first. You're going to just search for this PC in your search bar down here. And then whatever drive you have your Steam saved on, you're going to go there. It's on my local drive. It's not where the game is saved. It is where Steam is downloaded. That's the difference. Because for me, I have Costume Quest downloaded on my hard drive right here, but I have Steam downloaded on my C drive. So we're going to go there. Program files 86. We're going to go scroll down to Steam, and then we're going to go to user data right here. Then this folder will be some random numbers, your like Steam ID or something, and then you're going to search for 115100, which for me is right here. It's just the ID for the game. I'm going to go to remote, and then you have all your save files here. So all you got to do is download the save files from Speedrun.com. I'll leave a link to that in the description. You go to resources and you'll be able to find all of the files there. I have mine saved to my desktop. Costume Quest 1 Practice Saves Volume 2. And so say, oh, I want to go practice Big Bones at level 6. So I'm just going to copy this. And we're going to go over here and paste it in here. And it's going to ask if you want to replace a file already there. Do that. And then boom. Now we have Costume Quest Save 0 is going to take me to Big Bones, ready to fight him at level 6. There's a lot of useful files here. I'll be honest, I haven't named them particularly well. We have a 100% file in the resources as well. These are most of the basic practice saves you're going to be using for the beginner route. These are the more updated advanced route is what you're going to be using these for. But just for beginner route, if you want to practice anything, this is what you're going to want to be looking at. Is these files right here in the folder called Costume Quest 1 Practice Saves. You get anything you could want for the most part. You can do some ILs, practice strats, get a feel for the fights, stuff like that. Then when you open the game next, then you're going to be able to access that new save file. It's just going to be in the first slot. Remember that. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, I believe we are ready to start the speedrun. So I'm just going to run through the entire run. I'll explain things on the way. There's going to be timestamps in the description. On Speedrun.com, we also have a live split download where you can use that file, or you can do whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Just matters that you split the same spot every time. But I'm going to go over when I split and the splits that I use, just so you have a basis to go off of. But you're going to start a new game. So timing starts after you pick Rent a Rental. It makes 0 difference for the speedrun, so just choose whoever you'd like. We'll go with Ren this run, and the timing is going to start right after the cutscene outside the house plays. So we're going to get this cutscene with Mom, and then you skip this cutscene, and as soon as that next one starts is when time starts. But if you do submit a run, I will retime everything. So right there is when it starts. So first thing you want to do, you're going to start right over here. And then just take as tight of a line as you can, and you're going to go up to this house. Knock on it, skip the cutscene, and then mash some more to skip all the cutscenes. You're gonna walk over there and then go up here, and that's gonna trigger the tutorial fight. Tutorial fight is really easy. Just remember that in every single battle, you're gonna want to be hitting X as quickly as possible, just because that's gonna get your attack out quickly. In this tutorial fight, we don't actually want to hit properly because we don't need to. Same with blocks. Just block as quickly as you can. Just mash. Just choose a button to mash, and just hope you can get through it quick. Because you're not gonna die. You just want to speed this up as fast as possible. And then right here, we're gonna mash Y. That'll use our special ability. And then the fight's gonna be over, which is why we don't care if we have good hits on the attack phase. Skip through some more cutscenes, and then a little time save here. If you go straight up and go on to these small pumpkins right here, you'll only end up having to break 2 of the big pumpkins rather than a 3rd small pumpkin. You take good lines over here. You want to kind of aim for the left side of this chest here. Go up. Again, take good lines. And then go up on this side. You only have to hit 3. And then go up on this side as well. Also only have to hit 3. And then open the chest. And that's going to be it. That's the first split in the run that I have. I only had that because of the category robot %. But anyway, we're just going to run back here. Remember to hold B. Robot is going to be a very important costume because we will be using him the entire time because of his roller skate ability. He moves a lot faster than everybody else in the game because of this ability. Unless you go over ramps and stuff, but you move a lot faster. Yep, now let's run over here to Everett, mash through some text, and then remember we're going to take as nice lines as we can. Avoid some cars. You're in no real danger of losing this fight to Travis here. Got this corner nicely, and then just go straight down. There we go. Remember, you got to equip Knight, and then as soon as you do that, equip it back to Robot. So this is where the actual routing is going to start for the game. First things first, this is the beginner route. So the difference between the beginner route and a normal or the advanced route is just the number of fights you're going to skip throughout the run. So the beginner route, you're going to end up fighting a lot more things because that's going to make your final bosses and just the run in general, it's going to be a lot easier the less you skip, and there's no real difficult tricks either. Once you get a time under an hour and 20 minutes, I would suggest you try to implement some of the strats that the advanced route uses. I will make a video on that as well, on the strat differences on a couple of the different advanced routes. But for now, just do this route. It's a lot easier. It'll get you a good feel for the game. But yeah, so to start out, we're going to run over here. And we're going to go trick-or-treat at this house. And then we're going to trick-or-treat this house. We're going to have our first battle of the run. First real battle, I should say. So, right here, another thing that I don't think a whole lot of people know about, could be wrong, is when you switch between characters here, like who you're targeting, I use the D-pad. Because it's a lot easier to switch between enemies rather than having to hold down the stick. Sometimes you might get snapback, but with the D-pad you don't really have to worry about it. So we're going to focus the guy with the least amount of health. And we're just going to run through this as quickly as we can. These you're going to want to start getting your good hits and your good defenses in. And then you're just going to focus one enemy till he's dead and then focus on the other guy. This one we don't have any stamps or really strong costumes or anything like that. Be sure to know when your special ability is ready. You want to use that as quickly as possible. We don't care about knights though, they didn't do damage. There's the fight over. After that, we're going to run up, stay on this right side here. We're going to go to this house. And then run over to this house. Okay, after that, run up to the park. I'm going to go talk to Sadie here. Ask the text. Do not accidentally buy the black cat. I've done that before. I'm going to buy Fang of the Wolf. And you're going to go equip it. This is another place that's nice to use the D-pad on where you can just mash the buttons. And you're going to equip that on either Ren or Reynold, whoever you have, or whoever you're playing with from the start of the game. Just going to let you do a little bit extra damage. We buy it anyway, It's just nice to get it earlier rather than later. Then we'll come down here, talk to this kid. And that's going to start the Patriot quest where we can get the Liberty costume. And we'll run down here to this fight. A bit more difficult than the other one. Every single battle that we fight the magic type enemies, you always want to focus on them. And if there's a medic, which is going to be this white grub in here, you're always going to want to focus on them first because of the healing. It's really annoying if you leave them alive and you aren't able to fully kill an enemy in a single turn. The way the healing works for those medic enemies is that the game at a certain point will assign them a value based off their amount of health, and if they're at a certain value that the game considers to be critical health, which is pretty low health, they're going to heal every single time. If they're not at critical health and they're at, like, I forget what the game calls it, but like somewhere in between having a lot and a little medium amount of health, then the game is going to give them a higher chance to heal, but not totally, not a a guaranteed chance. And then if they have a high amount of health, then they can heal an enemy. They can't heal themselves, and they can't heal multiple times in a row. So we'll just run down, get some candy from here, and then we'll run up across the street. Another fight up here. All these fights throughout the entire run are all the same, which is why I'm trying to show you them. Again, here we're going to focus to have less amount of health. A lot of these fights are really kind of take as long as it takes for you to get your special ability. Here we're going to do a little bit of a different strategy. Never mind a lie. Sometimes we don't do enough damage to take out the Grubbin, and if we didn't, I was going to attack the other Grubbin anyway. Because the way it works in this game is you have a damage goal, a certain range of amount of damage you can do on your turn. It can be a bit annoying. Can't fully rely on taking enemies out properly. After that fight, we'll hit level 2. Run down here to this Lincoln guy. Talk to him. Equip the knight. Run in the sewer and grab this chest. It's a piece of the Liberty costume right there. We're going to talk to this guy. And then grab this chest right over here. And talk to this guy, and that'll give us the last Liberty piece. We won't have it yet. We haven't talked to Lincoln. But we will get it when we go back over there. Go to this house. Go across the street. Fight this house. Again, focus like Robin with the least amount of health. Well, these fights are similar. Sometimes I might speed it up, but I'm going to try to have every fight included in the video. So here, because Robot does more damage, we're going to have him attack the Robin with the higher amount of health, and switch back and attack the Robin with the lower amount of health. Then we'll have our special ready right here. And then a little bit of health, we're just going to mash through. I just happened to get X there, but because I knew that Knight was going to kill that Grubbin no matter what, even if it was a bad hit, I just mashed through to be a little quicker. Run up to this house, run across the street, or down the street to this house. And this will be the last fight before we go get the Liberty costume. Again, folks, guy with the piece of health. Very close. You normally won't have too much of a problem with the warlocks and stuff, but it can't be a problem. Like, they're reluctant to do a lot of damage. Again, that was another one where I just mashed because I knew Knight was a pretty, or the enemy that Knight was attacking was pretty low on health, and he would be able to take it out regardless. There we go. Now we run all the way back to the Liberty. The Lincoln that'll give us Liberty. Right here. And this is where I normally have my second split. It's right when you get the Liberty costume right there. I'll split again. Come over, talk to this kid. Switch to robots to move along a little faster there. Get the cherry, mash through this text. Switch back to robot. And then run up to Miss Putterpam. After the text again, and then we're going to run to this house on the right here. Give us some more candy. And so will this house. I lied. Okay, folks, the Grubbin with the, and then the Grubbin challenge. The heal, so we don't want him to do that. Of course, he will heal here either. Critical health. Not going to be critical, it might be like medium health, but there's a good enough chance he's going to heal anyway. Which he does. Continue to attack him. You know, attack him out here. These are special, going to be very close to taking out. Over here, but I don't think we're going to do quite enough damage. He'll take fire damage. He'll be down to 21 health. But he'll be done with more. We go level 3 now. We got one more fight. And then we're going to be fighting BoJonn. Continue down the street. Our last fight. A little more house after this as well. Again, focus the shaman healer. Very close to taking him out 10 health. Heals, doesn't have to matter for us. Or you want to attack on it. Doesn't matter if he does more damage, he's dead anyway. And took him out with robot. Very nice. Warlock powers himself up just to die this turn anyway. Again, we'll just mash through here. Whatever I can get. That's our last fight. We got... Actually, I lied. We have one more after this. But last fight up in this area. Like lying in my speedrun tutorial. So run back where you came from to Miss Putter Pam. Then we're going to go talk to Sadie. We're going to buy bloodshot eyeballs and pumpkin guts. So this is the first two. So you can just mash through the conversation you have with Sadie. You don't have to worry about accidentally buying the first thing because you need to buy that anyway. And we're going to switch to eyeballs and pumpkin guts in this order. Pumpkin guts allows us to do a bit of splash damage, and then eyeballs just you do more damage on a critical hit. Very nice. We'll go down, keep on this right side here. Trick-or-treat this house, the last candy house, and then right over here is the last enemy house. Because this is so close to where you start, see, because we have pumpkin guts, I'm gonna have the knight attack the other grubbin, and then the warlock will die from the last stage. Attack this guy, he's gone. So, now you'll get this cutscene with the gate opening. If the gate is not open, you forget a house. So, figure that out. We're going to run in here. A little place we got to run through to get to BoJonn. Avoid all the grubbins. You don't need to fight anybody here. Talk to the pumpkin. And run over the right here. Okay, before we start the BoJonn fight, just a couple things to explain. We're going to be using the same setup we were. It's going to be Robot Knight, Eyeballs, Pumpkin Guts. You want to focus the Megaphone, then the Shaman, and then BoJonn. So he'll be the last one you take out, and that's because you can't take out BoJonn, or you can't win the fight until everything else has been killed first. So, might as well focus the other things. So that's the general strat of the fight. It's a bit random. You can get kind of screwed over by RNG. It's a very annoying fight, I'll be honest. Be kind of careful. Use your specials smartly. Even if it is slower, better to be slower and live than faster and die. And we kind of bank on the fact that Shaman doesn't heal twice. Heal a Megaphone twice. Okay, there we go. It only has 2 opportunities to heal a Megaphone. That was the first one. And it's okay if it heals it once. It's not ideal. It'll heal it here, but we'd rather it not heal twice. Yeah, it'll heal there. So we use our special on it there. Again, it's not going to be low enough here, so we got to take it out. Or it's not going to be low enough to take it out with splash damage, so. Yeah, this is where the fight gets annoying. Because the Shaman's just going to keep healing itself, and Ren is going to be low. You're going to be seeing this happen a lot, where Robot just constantly gets hit, and Knight is at full health. This happens all the time. I don't know enough about the code to see why this happens. And of course, as soon as the shield's up, you don't get hit. That's just kind of how it goes. Fortune Grubbin got Grubbin healed again. And there we go. Grubbin's dead. Keep Robot alive. Gonna use our special again. And once you get that second special off, you know you're gonna be okay. Even if he dies. Here we go. This will be the end of the fight here. So my third split is gonna be the end of this fight. Fade out right here. Now that we're done with BoJonn, that marks the end of World 1, and we're moving on into World 2, which is the Mall. And that'll be the end of this video on World 1. The next video is going to cover all of Mall, and then there'll be one more video after that which covers Autumn Valley, which includes everything to the end of the game. So with those 3 videos all together, you'll be able to have a pretty good grasp on how to run this game at a beginner level. And then after that, I'm going to create one big advanced tutorial. I'm going to go over all the route differences, what you need to know, the skips you need to do, all that kind of stuff. So be sure to look out for that. I know in the description I'm going to put a link to a playlist. It's going to have all 4 videos in that playlist. So if I haven't posted it yet, it will be added to that playlist pretty soon. I plan to get these out within the next week or so. Um, no exact plans or dates or anything. I haven't recorded any of the other parts, but I'm a bit busy with school. But anyway, that'll be it for this video. Good luck with your speedrunning.